Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, Monoposto Speed Legend. Today, in this video, we are going to explain all the video settings in Monoposto 2026, one by one, in detail. I will explain what each setting does, and we will also go to the track and show you how each setting works and what difference it makes in the gameplay. So, let's start the video. Step 1, Graphic Level. First, let's talk about graphic level. This setting is used to increase or decrease the overall graphics quality of the game. If we decrease the graphic level, the graphics quality will become lower, while increasing it will make the cars, track, lighting, and other visual details look much better. Now, we have set the graphic level to Ultra. So, let's go to the track and see what difference it makes to the graphics. As you saw on the track, the graphics looked much better and more detailed. If the game runs smoothly on your mobile, I recommend keeping the graphic level on Ultra for the best and most realistic graphics experience. Step 2, Bloom Effect. Now let's talk about Bloom Effect. This setting increases the glow around bright lights and other bright objects in the game. Now, we have set the Bloom Effect to 10. So, let's go to the track and see what difference it makes to the gameplay. As you saw on the track, there was a lot more glow around the lights. If you want a clean and more realistic visual experience, in my opinion, it is better to keep the bloom effect off. Step 3, Ambient Occlusion Effect. Now, let's talk about Ambient Occlusion Effect. This setting improves the shadows and depth around different parts of the car and track, making the graphics look more detailed and realistic. Now, we have set the Ambient Occlusion Effect to 10. So, let's go to the track and check it. As you saw on the track, the shadows and details around the car and track looked much better. If you want the best graphics and a realistic experience, I recommend keeping the Ambient Occlusion Effect at 10. Step 4, Motion Blur Effect. Now, let's talk about Motion Blur Effect. This setting creates a slight blur effect on the screen when the car is moving at high speed. In other words, when the car is moving faster, the movement looks slightly blurry. Now, we have set the motion blur effect to 3. So, let's go to the track and see what difference it makes. As you saw, our car had crashed, and when the car was moving at high speed, it looked like we were driving the car in slow motion. and the screen looked very blurry. If you want a clear and realistic driving experience, in my opinion, it is better to keep the motion blur effect off. Step 5. Camera Field of View. Now, let's talk about Camera Field of View. This setting controls the amount of the track area that we can see from the camera. If we increase it, we can see more of the track and our surroundings, while decreasing it makes the camera view more close-up. Now, we have changed the camera field of view. So, let's go to the track and see what difference it makes to the camera view. As you saw on the track, the camera view changed, and we could see more of the track. For a realistic and comfortable camera view, you can set it according to your preference. Step 6. 60Hz Video Refresh. Now, let's talk about 60Hz Video Refresh. This setting helps make the gameplay smoother because the screen refreshes more frequently. Now, we have turned 60Hz Video Refresh on. So, let's go to the track and check the gameplay. As you saw while taking the turn, our car went into the barrier, shook slightly, and the front wing got damaged. And as you saw, the 60Hz gameplay looked much smoother. If your mobile supports 60Hz gameplay, I recommend keeping 60Hz video refresh on. Step 7. Camera Tilt Lock. Now let's talk about Camera Tilt Lock. This setting controls the camera movement and also determines how the camera moves when the car turns or moves around the track. Now, we have turned Camera Tilt Lock on. So, let's go to the track and see how the camera moves. As you saw, the camera movement became more stable. But if you want a more natural racing experience, you should keep Camera Tilt Lock off. However, I like it this way, so I have kept it on. Step 8. Camera Shake. Now, let's talk about Camera Shake. This setting creates slight camera movement when the car is driving, going over track bumps, or during different racing situations. Now, we have turned Camera Shake on. So, let's go to the track and see what difference it makes. As you saw, there was a slight camera movement while the car was driving. If you want a more realistic racing feel, I recommend keeping Camera Shake on. Step 9. Increase Camera Shake. Now, let's talk about Increase Camera Shake. This setting increases the camera shake even more. In other words, if you turn it on, the camera will shake more while the car is driving. Now, we have turned Increase Camera Shake on. So, let's go to the track and see how much the camera shakes. As you saw, there was no camera movement because we had turned camera tilt lock off earlier, so the camera was not moving. In my opinion, it is better to keep increased camera shake off. Step 10. Hide safety shield. Now, let's talk about hide safety shield. This setting is used to hide the safety shield from the screen. For example, Formula 1 cars before 2017 did not have the halo. So, with this setting, we can hide the halo. Now, we have turned Hide Safety Shield on. So, let's go to the track and see whether the safety shield is visible or not. As you saw, the safety shield was not visible on the screen. So, if we hide the halo, we get an old F1 look. If you want the F1 look according to today's era, then, in my opinion, it is better to keep Hide Safety Shield off. Step 11. Disable particles. Now, let's talk about disable particles. This setting disables different particle effects in the game, such as smoke, dust, rain, and other visual effects. Now, we have turned disable particles on. So, let's go to the track and see what difference it makes to the visual effects. As you saw, some of the particle effects were no longer visible on the screen. If you want more complete and realistic graphics, I recommend keeping disable particles off. Step 12. Enable analog vintage mode. Now, our final setting is enable analog vintage mode. This setting changes the game's graphics into a vintage or old style look. Now we have turned analog vintage mode on. So, let's go to the track and see what difference it makes to the graphics. As you saw, the game's look appeared much more vintage and old style. If you want a modern and realistic F1 experience, in my opinion, it is better to keep analog vintage mode off. So guys, with that, all the video settings in Monoposto 2026 are complete. In the next video, we will completely explain the audio settings. And in today's video, we explained every setting one by one and also went to the track to show you what difference each setting makes in the gameplay. So, if you enjoyed today's video, then like the video, share it, and leave a good comment. And if you're visiting our channel for the first time, then make sure to subscribe to our channel, Monoposto Speed Legend. We have already made many videos about different Monoposto 2026 settings, so you can visit our channel and watch those videos as well. So, let's meet again in the next video. See you in the next video.